Looking back, I understand this now. My parents had a heart to see me know God. Unfortunately, Christianity to me in a nutshell was slavery to the rules of God. It was nothing that gave me passion or purpose. It was just a list of, do this and God will be happy. Don't do this, don't see rated R movies, don't cuss, don't this, and God will like you. And so now I'm in this, because I love skateboarding, I'm in the skateboarding culture with these kids who, they can do whatever. Their parents don't care what they do. For me, a kid growing up in the church, it's like, I want that freedom. And so, I came to school with sort of this demeanor of trying to fit in, but on the inside, and what was really happening outside of school is I had these other friends and this whole nother crowd and this whole nother me and this whole nother life that had opened me up to the fun of drugs, of alcohol, of pleasure, of popularity. It was the freedom. It was like, man, live it up. It was 2005 that my parents were out of town and they got a phone call from the Boca Raton Police Department saying that they have their son, Andrew Lundy. It was like, what? Andrew? The Bible says in Proverbs 10:1 that the foolishness of a son is the grief of his mother. And, and looking back, it's like, I didn't care whose hearts I broke, but I had a mom who prayed for me. Even when it seemed hopeless, even when there was no light at the end of the tunnel, she still trusted God. And so through counsel from Calvary Fort Lauderdale, they suggested a program called Teen Challenge. It's a 15-month program. I remember falling into even deep feats of depression, in the program and in my life, contemplating even suicide and asking the question, is there a purpose to life? And if there's not, I don't want to live. It all sort of came to a head about 10 months into the program. And I remember it was clear as day, like almost audibly God spoke to me and he said, I don't want your sacrifices. I don't want you to just obey and do this and sacrifice this. I want you who I want. And I fell flat on my face and was just weeping and was, for the first time, receiving God and receiving Jesus. And so coming home, I had this fresh experience. I had a lot of zeal, but I needed some wisdom. So my mom had suggested Patmos, and it was with Pastor Chet Lowe in the Bahamas. The idea of Patmos was a great one for me because I needed to go somewhere before I could come back home and just live life in this world and in my former city. I needed to really solidify and grow in my relationship with God. And while I was down at Patmos, I got word that my best friend, from the world, someone who was still living for the things of the world, had died. I remember when I got the news, it shocked me. I couldn't believe it. And he had overdosed. It was through this that God almost told me, Andrew, I've snatched you out of this world. I've saved you from death, and you're mine. Currently, I have the privilege of serving as overseer for the high school ministry at Calvary Chapel, Boca Raton, the regional campus in Boca. And it's the greatest opportunity that my life now, I get to live to share who Christ is and the life that he brings. Now looking at life and all that God's done, the fact that I'm married and I ended up meeting my now wife at Patmos. I married Brittany Lundy on November 6, 2009. It's this great gift of God. Everything it's a real blessing. On August 10th, 2009, my mom went home to be with the Lord. And it's almost interesting to think it's like perhaps her time was done. And God had her here, and her finishing off her mission was to love on me and to pray for me and to be a mom who didn't give up on her son, and she didn't, and she prayed for me. And she got to see Jesus save me, It was almost this gift that God gave her before she went on to be with him.